Here's how this works. Water, salt, and pepper, those are freebies. Your pantry, it better have flour, oil, vinegar, mustard, and garlic. Beyond that, you'll only need 5 more ingredients and 25 minutes to put an entree or entire meal on the table. So, shop, set the clock, and let's dish out. First up, we'll grab some whole milk, some unsalted butter, about 12 ounces or so of small potatoes. I've got some Yukon Gold there, a bunch of asparagus, and of course, we'll need some steak. And of course, we've got garlic in the pantry, so we can get to work. First thing, we want to bring a pot of water up to a boil. Go ahead and season that. Cut your potatoes down into very small chunks so we can get them to cook quickly for us. Toss them in that water. And you're going to bring it up to a simmer, let them cook for about 12 to 15 minutes or until they're fork tender. Now, while the potatoes cook away, go ahead and chop the woody, fibrous end off your asparagus, lay them out on a sheet tray, drizzle them with olive oil, season them with salt and pepper, and give that tray a shake so that the seasoning and oil kind of gets to get around there and coat the asparagus. Then we'll just pop those into a 400-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Perfect timing. The potatoes should be pretty well be done when the asparagus is done, and just set that aside. Add some olive oil to a skillet over medium-high heat, and then I'm going to grab my fillets, and of course you could use filet, ribeye, sirloin, whatever you prefer. Make sure you season it up really well, and lay it away from you into that hot oil, and hold it down for a few seconds to get a nice crust to start to form on there. You'll season the other side, of course. I like to add pepper at the end. After you've got a nice crust on that first side, maybe 3 to 4 minutes, give it a flip. Press it down again. Optionally, you can kind of spin it around in that fat so that it cooks evenly. We're going to drop in a couple of cloves of garlic to start that flavoring process, along with a couple of tablespoons of the butter. And then just baste away on that steak, covering it in that delicious garlicky butter. That also helps it to cook evenly from both the top and the bottom. Once it's cooked to your liking, go ahead and kill the heat and add in some more fresh, finely chopped garlic. It's going to give us even more pungent garlic flavor. You can definitely do this off the heat because we only want that garlic to have about 30 seconds or so of direct contact with that hot fat. Otherwise, it could burn. So we'll remove the steak to rest for a few minutes and go ahead and cover it with all that wonderful nut brown butter and toasted garlic. Drain your potatoes and add them back to that hot pan over low heat. Toss in some butter and some milk, and this is really just a taste. It depends on how chunky or how smooth you like your mashed potatoes. You'll definitely want to season them with more salt and fresh cracked pepper. And then just get in there and smash them up. And again, this is all personal preference here. I'd start by adding maybe half a cup of milk. You could always add more if you want to. These are looking good to me. Kind of chunky, but a nice little smooth texture there. A nice heterogeneous blend of chunky and smooth. We'll lay down a bed of those baby Yukon Gold smashed potatoes, followed by another bed of our asparagus, and then our perfectly cooked, as you will see shortly, steak. And make sure you get all that good toasted garlic on the top. And just because I had to take a picture of this, I'm going to put a little tuft of basil there for a garnish, but totally not necessary. And there you go. In less than 25 minutes, you've got an elegant steak and potatoes dinner on the table. Potatoes were really nice, perfectly seasoned, good texture, nice richness from that butter. And look at that, perfectly cooked steak. A nice rare, medium rare, just the way I like my filet. No gray edges, blushing from edge to edge. Now, filet mignon, people complain often it doesn't have a lot of flavor, and they're right, but it's incredibly tender and juicy. And once you add that butter and that garlic flavor, it really just pumps the flavor to 11. So delicious. That asparagus has still got a nice bite to it because we didn't overcook it. Steak and potatoes, it's overused but never abused because it's so darn good. Thanks for watching. Get out of here and go make something delicious.